You have questions, we have answers. This is Jane Miller.
And this is Ken Miller. Welcome to our show, all about real estate with Ken and Jane. Today, we have as our guest, Debbie Diddle, the president of the New Beginnings Animal Rescue. Debbie, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me, Ken and Jane.
It's our pleasure. Well, our show is about real estate, and mainly we talk about for people's needs, but certainly pets need real estate. They need good homes to go to, too. So we thought it's appropriate to have you on to talk about the efforts, the great efforts that you're making for the cats and kittens in the community.
Absolutely.
Yes. So can you share the story of how the rescue center was founded?
Sure. So New Beginnings was formed after the closure of the Sayreville Pet Adoption Center in 2014 by a group of then volunteers that wanted to continue this important function. The rescue was opened on Cranberry Road, and at the time we housed both cats and dogs, but we lost our lease there, so we had to move to our current location, which is on Route 18 North. So we were unable to handle dogs due to the lack of kennels, so now we only house cats and kittens.
Okay. And then, so where exactly is your, what's the address?
So we're located at 742, Route 18 North in East Brunswick, right across from the Brunswick Square Mall.
Okay. And if people are interested in adopting, about how many beautiful cats and kittens do you have in the shelter right now that are looking for forever homes?
We have about 36 cats and kittens right now, and we have adoption hours, which are on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 6 to 8, and then Friday and Saturday from 12 to 5.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's really, that's great. And how do you see the turnaround time? Like right now you have 36, and then obviously the sooner those cats and kittens get adopted, the more then you can open up more space to take more cats and kittens. Because we were talking before the show that a lot of your the cats come from kill shelters in northern New Jersey. So
yes. Yeah. So we try to we have lulls. Sometimes we have a lot of people coming in. Sometimes we don't have anybody for a few weeks, but we try to do a 2-week turnaround time. We will check references, and we will make sure that, we try to match the cat with the person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know a lot of dog shelter, they definitely very care about matching the pet with the family. I remembered our daughter, we adopted two, we always animal people family. We always stopped from the shelter, especially, helping. Our daughter always loved to help with the animal. So she wanted a little dog. So we had the two big ones. We have to went all the way to North Jersey, right, Ken?
Yeah, we went.
And they required us to bring the whole family, the two dogs.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
So they do match. And actually the one we were we were in line. We got the first choice, but because the dogs doesn't get
they didn't
along,
get along, just like
so we couldn't.
Yeah, and that happens.
We switched, but we're grateful. So we got a little one named Chip. So that was really
that's
good
when
one.
she was in 6th grade. That became her companion to get her through the school.
Yeah.
Yes, and we do that. We do ask that the whole family comes in and spends a lot of time with the cat, so we can see how they interact. Yeah. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. We can't always find the perfect match, but we always tell them, hey, if not this time around, maybe the next batch of cats.
Right, because sometimes some cats may get along with both dogs and other cats. Some cats may only prefer that home where they're the center of attention. So it all varies, just like with dogs.
Just like people.
People, it's all different personalities.
Personality. Yeah, exactly.
And that is so true. Like we have one cat now. Her name is Audrey. She's a beautiful cat, but she needs to be in a single home. She wants to be the queen of the roost.
Queen.
She wants to be the queen. And so if there's other pets, we don't recommend that they take Audrey. But then we have other cats and kittens that would thrive in a house full of other pets.
Yeah.
So again, which goes back to matching.
So it's important that you guys match them. So that's why you want to know the family history. Have they had pets? What is their current household consists of? How many dogs and cats they have? And
how old are the children? Because sometimes, for the cats may be easier, but for the dog, right? Sometimes it is very important. I remember that when Maria was 6 months old or something, we want to adopt a dog, young, like a not a puppy, but like a puppy. It was German Shepherd and mix. They all from the shelter, but the people were saying, "Are you sure your daughter only 6 months old? The dog is gonna outgrow her very fast, and you can't just if it doesn't work out, you have to return the dog to the same shelter. You can't just find another home for her." I said, "Don't worry." I said, "So far nobody came to our family leave, and don't worry."
Yeah, and it turned out that they got along. Yeah, it was a beautiful relationship. When Maria was already 4, she was riding on the dog. And I thought she felt sorry for the dog that she was going to break.
Yeah, because the thing is, right, she thought it was a horse because she's 2. The dog is huge.
And the dog was
and it was a big mixed German Shepherd. And also, when she was little, when I disciplined her, right, when I really, disciplined her, she got really upset. She was only 2 or 3. She didn't speak that time. She would go over there and kick the dog.
Oh.
And because her little feet, right, was so cute, but she's not really kick. She's like just tap the dog, and I have to drag her back and time her out and say, "Hey, you have apologized. What did you do?" I'm sorry.
The dogs. Both dogs and cats are very tolerable, and
the dog
they know that they really love you.
Yeah, they come back and lick her, and she was a little feet with. We don't wear shoes in the house anyway, so she will come back and lick her feet. That was like so cute,
especially when they're young like that. Like when they're puppies, they're just very like, okay, whatever.
I found when the children growing up with animal, as my personal observation, is at least with our daughter Maria, is very gentle. So she knows, you can't hurt animal, you can't put a tail, you can't put a ear. So she like a pet, and sleep with them, so she's like a more gentle.
Yes, and it's very true. Like if they grow up with animals, they learn to respect the animals, and they don't want to hurt them. They want to love them. And I had the same thing with my son. My son grew up with animals, and he just loves all of them, the cats, the dogs, and whatever else I bring in the house.
Yeah, that's really good for
it also builds up their resistance. They said it could be healthy for kids to grow up with animals to build up their tolerance. Healthy, because if kids are not exposed to animals, they could have more allergies in the future due to that.
We now sentence, but for our case, yes, Maria growing up with pets in the home, the dogs, and she loving them, and every time Thanksgiving time, like now, she watches TV. She's old. She feels so sorry, for the animals. Yeah.
So, what would you say? Let's say some people out there that are listening would love to have a cat, but they're afraid of the process. Maybe they've never had a cat and they don't know like what's involved and what's entailed. Do you guys have any? I guess there's so much on YouTube now, but do you have any guidance or help them if they said that, "Gee, we love an animal. We'd love to have one of these cute cats, but we have never had that experience."
And we've actually had several people come in recently that have never had a cat before. So we just explained to them, what it entails, what they need, and again, the biggest thing is having them come and spend time with the cats and the kittens. I mean, we've had people come in and they sit there for a few hours and interact with the animals. So that is very important. I know, like sometimes people will come in and they'll say, "Oh, I saw this cat on Pet Finder. I want to adopt them." But we're like, okay, well, first you need to spend some time with this cat or the kitten to make sure that it is a good fit, and it's definitely what you're looking for. Sometimes people come in looking for kittens, but they end up going home with an older cat because they realize kittens are a lot of work. And
just like a puppy, I know, just like a puppy. Because then they got the scratch and claw, and then if you have a lot of furniture, you may not be too happy.
We know.
We know with puppies too, they're a lot of work when they have to go to the bathroom every couple hours and nighttime. Oh my!
I always joke, right? When our daughter was a baby, right? Can't sleep like a baby, whole night long. My mother, we take off the baby. But when we had a puppy, Lucky, and my husband have to get up so many times at night.
Because at nighttime he had to go every couple hours and then had to clean the cage sometimes.
It was just like having a child.
It was high maintenance. Every few hours.
That's what I said. He did nothing for our daughter when she was infant, but for the dog.
Yeah, he had the whole issue of deworming them and all
that's issues. It's all worth it. But as you said, Debbie, I think it's very important for people to match their personality with the cat and the kitten, because some cat, I used to have a cat when I was in China. I love cat. So that time, some cat are very independent. Some cat want sleep on your lap all the time.
Absolutely.
And, so if you want the cat to be a companion, obviously independent cat may not work for you, right?
That's
but
right.
vice versa. But to spend time, it's just like I think we all call the pet like our children, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you have to really matching, and that will reduce your own anxiety, and you will have a better relationship.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And the cat's personality is pretty much set, right? So if a cat that you have in your shelter is pretty much independent and comes to eat, that would be pretty much his
Yeah,
or her
the
nature.
older cats, the kittens are always,
Adopt-
they can grow into their personalities. Plus, the other thing to remember is when you have a bunch of cats in a rescue, they're in, a very stressful environment.
Yeah.
True,
So
yeah.
their true personalities may not shine through until they're actually adopted into their forever home. Because we have seen some of our kittens and cats that have been very shy, and people say, "Oh, I want a more active cat." But then once they adopt them and get them home, the cat opens up and becomes more playful. That's a big consideration. The cats are not always what they seem when they're in the rescue because of the stress environment for them.
Totally
That's
agree.
true, yeah.
Because when we adopt the little guy Chip 6 years ago, and the dog didn't bark. And very quiet. It's like really shaking. And it's like, we took it home. After a few months, suddenly one day, he barked. We were shocked. I said, "What? He barks?"
Yeah.
Very active after that.
Yes.
But at the beginning was really,
Oh yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
They have to
you have to
learn.
get comfortable with the territory, maybe
Yeah.
because we had two bigger dogs that he
Yes.
felt a little bit shy at first until he got until he felt that he was part of the home. Because when we first adopted him, the two bigger dogs played with him in a very playful manner and wrestled him outside, and we were watching him. because
we
Jane
have
was
to
more-
tell
so-
the two behave.
But they were trying to show
Yeah.
their dominance. Yeah.
Yes, and it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a while to build trust with the animal because the animal's coming to a new environment,
Yeah.
and they're not sure what's going on. So it sometimes takes a little time, and you have to be patient. That's another thing I recommend when you bring in a new animal to your home. Patience is key.
Yes.
Because sometimes they might be very stressed, and they might do things like not go in the litter box or scratch something. So you have to work with the kitten or the cat, and spend a lot of time with them. You can't just bring them home and forget about them.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Okay, welcome back. We have Debbie Diddle, the president of the New Beginnings Animal Rescue, as our guest, talking about the adoption of cats and kittens. And Debbie, welcome back again from the break. And
Thank you.
once again, please share with us your center's location and the contact info for people that may want to adopt a cat or kitten.
Okay, yes, we're located at 742 Route 18 North in East Brunswick, and we also are on Facebook, and we are on Pet Finder under New Beginnings, New Jersey, petfinders.org. So you can look us up on Facebook, or you can come stop by and visit us during our adoption hours.
Okay, great. So let's talk about it because you guys are all volunteers. So that's a
correct.
very great thing you do to look out for the welfare of these cats and kittens. Can you talk about a typical day for your work and with the adoption center?
Sure. So our volunteers are assigned to different tasks at the rescue. So we have what's called a clean and feed shift, which is every morning and every evening. And that's where the volunteers come in. They'll clean the cages. They'll clean and change the litter boxes. They'll feed the cats. They mop the floors. They sweep the floors because we have to keep it as sanitary and as clean as possible. Mm-hmm. And then we also have volunteers that come in are specific for socialization. And what they do is they spend time with the cats to make sure they're socialized to go into, their home. Because sometimes we do have cats that were from a feral colony, or sometimes they're just very shy and they're not, they can be intimidated. So we spend time playing with them and, having human contact with them so they get comfortable being around humans. And then we also have, of course, our adoption hours, which I mentioned were Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8, and then Friday and Saturday from 12 to 5. So during that time, it's just strictly, we focus on the adoptions. We don't have anybody in doing any of the chores. And in between that, the volunteers will do things like we have to do laundry and folding laundry and making sure the food is stocked. So they do a lot of that and just making sure the rescue stays clean and neat and stocked for the cats. But there's always somebody there throughout the day during different shifts. And our volunteers, they work a minimum of 2-hour shifts. So if anybody is interested, and we're always looking for volunteers because, as you know, it's kind of hard to find people sometimes. So if anybody out there is interested in volunteering, we're looking for that. And we're also looking for more foster families Because another thing we do is when we get in, especially new kittens, we like to have them go into a foster home until they're a little bit older so that they can come to the rescue to be adopted. And right now we have a shortage of foster families. So if anybody is interested in fostering a cat, especially if they've never had a cat before, it's a good opportunity to see if a cat is the right fit for your family. You can foster them for so many weeks, and then they come back to our rescue to be put up for adoption.
Okay, great. And I'm sure also, what about donations? I'm sure donations are more than welcome, whether it be monetary
donations,
or food.
Because again, we are an all volunteer, and we do rely mostly on private donations and fundraising. So we are always looking. We do have a wish list on Amazon that is under New Beginnings Animal Rescue New Jersey. We're always looking for food and treats and cleaning supplies. We go through a lot of bleach because we use bleach and water to clean the cages to make sure they're sanitized. And we do a lot of fundraising. Right now, we have an online auction going on for people to go on and bid on items, and all the proceeds benefit our rescue. And then we are going to be having, for the first time, a holiday sponsor a stocking for a cat. So for $20 a stocking, you can sponsor one of our cats to make sure they have a nice holiday, and they have we're going to give them special meals and toys. So we're going to be posting that on our Facebook page within the next week or so. And then we're going to host our first Tricky Tray April 5th of next year, to try to raise money, because it has been tough. We've had a lot of medical expenses for some of our cats, and it does add up. So donations are always welcome, whether it be money or food or supplies.
And the donations, again, you go to your Facebook page.
Yeah, you go to our Facebook
New Beginnings,
page.
It's under Facebook, go to New Beginnings.
New Beginnings Animal Rescue New Jersey. And then we have our website is nbarnj.org.
Okay. And let's also, now you mentioned something about the animals that get sick, like any pet. Unfortunately, you hope they stay healthy and live a long life, but illness does happen with all animals. So do you work with any of the local vets? Do they give you like a break on some of the treatment, even though it's costly to take care of an animal, just like a loved one? It's can add up quite a bit,
Yeah, we do. Edgebrook Animal Hospital in East Brunswick works with us. We have Dr. Slade that's there. He does actually room visits for us, and he gives us a discount on our vaccines and our medical procedures, because there are times we have to have the cats either spayed or neutered, and we have to make sure they're up to date on rabies and all their vaccines. So we do work with them. And for emergencies, we'll use Garden State Veterinary Hospital for different emergencies. So we do have, and we have a vet tech that comes to our rescue as well, because we don't have an actual vet on site because we're a small rescue. So we do utilize the local, especially Edgebrook.
Right. So the people know that if they're adopting from your organization, they know that the cat or the kitten that they adopt will be fully up to date on their vaccinations, and also will be spayed or neutered.
That is correct.
Correct. Okay. So that's good. So that's one less thing worry free then when they get the animal.
Yeah, and the one thing that we don't do is we don't declaw the cats or kittens, because that's actually when they get declawed, it's actually very painful for them, and it's actually not good, because heaven forbid your cat or kitten gets out, which we've seen a lot of that lately. They have no way to defend themselves.
Yeah, right.
So we do not, one of our requirements is that you do not declaw the cat or kitten, because we want to make sure that they keep their nails.
Right. And the cats that get adopted in most homes, are they intended to mostly be indoor cats for their safety at this point?
You recommend they stay indoors. I know, because cats do like to go outside, but there have been, in today's world, there's just so many dangers out there for cats and kittens. Yeah. And I've seen them getting hit by cars, and they get lost and never. It's pretty sad. So yes, cats should really be indoors.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I used to have a cat, when I was younger, and sometimes when the cat ran out, it's very hard to find them. It's not like very harder, I think, than a dog to find them.
Right, and it's unlike a dog. If you have a cat, and you figure, well, I have a fenced yard, the cat can easily climb the chain link fence, or even the vinyl fence, or climb up the trees. And if it sees a squirrel or a mouse or something, it'll just go there, just like a dog does. But at least, fortunately, the dog, it can't.
Yeah, and a rule of thumb is that usually the cats and kittens don't go far, because they're usually scared. And some of the tricks that we tell people if their cat gets out is to put the litter box outside, or put some clothing outside, so that hopefully they'll come back. And sometimes they come back, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's better just for overall safety. Keep the cat indoors. It has its litter box, has its food, has its loved ones. So
Yeah.
it
Yes,
can have a
and
great
they
life.
adapt very
just in-
easily. I know one of my cats that I took in was a feral cat. She was outside for about a year, and I was worried she would be crying to go outside all the time. Once I brought her in, she was like, okay, I'm content, and I don't need to go back out.
Especially like the weather now, right? Better
Yes.
stay inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
They get spoiled.
Yeah. So people might be wondering, let's talk a little bit more about what's involved if you want to take the responsibility of adopting a cat. For somebody who never had a cat as a pet, they would just have to could you talk briefly about the process, getting like maybe a litter box and how often you should change it, how often you should feed them, and what you have to kind of keep an eye on for the cat so it doesn't get itself into trouble within your household.
Okay, so yes, definitely litter box and litter is key. And, sometimes I like to have the higher litter boxes because I have one cat that's very messy and tends to get litter all over. And as far as changing it, it depends on, because I have 4 cats of my own, so we have to change it daily, at least twice a day because they use it a lot. And of course, feeding them, there's all kinds of food out there, but myself personally, I like to feed my cats grain-free food because it is better for them. Because some of the basic cat food out there has a lot of byproducts and things like that. So I'm big on making sure they have good food to keep them healthier. Taking them to the vet is key, keeping them up to date on their immunizations and their rabies, just in case, God forbid, they ever do get out.
Sure.
Nails. I trim 3 of my 4 cats' nails. The other one I have to take to the vet to get their nails trimmed, but that's important too because they could get caught and they could actually rip their nail out if they get caught on something.
Sure.
So keeping their nails trimmed is important. And just making sure they have fresh food and water.
Sure.
And scratching posts all over.
That was going to ask you. They need something to keep
scratching
themselves
posts. Yes, I
entertained.
have many scratching posts around my house, and they do tend. I mean, once in a while they'll try to scratch the furniture, but I just direct them to the scratching posts, and it usually works. And of course, lots of toys. They love the wand toys, and they love the little mice. And then interact with them. I mean, it's important you can't just bring a cat or kitten into your home and expect that it's just gonna, play there. And they want to be played with. They want interaction.
They want human interaction.
And they will start, my cats talk to me, and I kind of know now, like, if this one wants to be pet or this one wants to sit in the window, they let me know. So
yeah, and they said the litter box is really important because if the litter box gets overcrowded or too messy, they won't use it.
So they want to, and then they will start going on the floor or on your rug. So it is
So
very important to keep the litter box clean. And I do have one of my cats refuses to go in it if it's dirty.
More fussy than the human. It's good. That's good. The cat always clean. That's good thing. Well, the other day I saw something interesting on the internet, on the YouTube, and someone posted a video. Somehow taught the cat call her mommy. And the cat would just say, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." That was like so cute.
Yes.
So cute. Mommy.
Yeah, well, they're very smart too. Just like
they
dogs,
are
they're
very
very
smart.
smart and they're very intuitive. So they have a lot of
Yes,
things.
cats are
to
very,
offer.
very smart. People don't give them enough credit, but they are very smart
And they-
animals, and they're very intuitive. And you can tell when a cat trusts you. If a cat shows its belly, that means the cat trusts you.
Oh, just like with a dog.
Less
Our
than-
Just like
dogs
with a
show
dog,
their belly, they roll over you,
Yes.
so they want you to
If they let you
scratch
pet their
belly,
belly, then there's the trust you have built the trust.
Yeah.
Our dog always.
Yeah. Oh, he's right.
Always.
They like the massages too, and the
Yes.
cats, I'm sure, like the rubbing.
They do.
But they like,
They do.
like you said, you said it correctly. They need the human interaction, the petting,
Yes.
the scratching, the
Absolutely.
cuddling. Just
Nothing better than human touch.
Yeah,
That is true.
So while a cat can be more independent than a dog, you still, if you're going to consider adopting a cat, you should still spend some time with it.
Absolutely.
You can't just spend long hours away and expect the cat to thrive in that community.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that much work, Ken. Think
No, it's
about
not.
it, right?
But you're enjoying it. If you're watching TV or you're
enjoying
eating
it,
dinner, you're
yeah.
just enjoying
like,
it.
Like our little dog, Chippy, right? He's a smaller, like a cat size. When I'm on the computer or on the phone, he just jump on me, and then he just sit behind my back, just on the chair. So it's like, I'm used to it. So, it's really, when you love animal, it's not work.
It's not work. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So we're just out of time. We want to thank you so much for coming in, Debbie, and sharing with us all the benefits of your New Beginnings Animal Rescue. And once again, for our listeners, please give your contact information for adoption.
Okay, and thank you for having me. And again, we're located at 742 Route 18 North. Our website is nbarnj.org. We are also on Facebook under New Beginnings Animal Rescue New Jersey. And come visit us and see all of our lovely cats that are up for adoption.
Well, when you
Yeah.
guys go shopping for the holidays
Holidays.
in the Brunswick Mall, just across the street, that's the
Yeah.
where it is.
Yes.
East Brunswick.
We're right next to the State Farm building.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
They'll make a very nice gift for the holidays.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks again. We'll see everyone next week. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.